guys, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming, where I clearly don't have the right thing set up. But we're here. We're here for Patreon. We're here for a one-shot. We're here for all kinds of things and stuff. To be harassed by Gnome because he didn't refresh the screen because he's been in here all day and the title didn't update for him, so he thinks it's me. Refresh, Gnome. The stream title has been updated, you dork. That being said, this is our Patreon one-shot. This is one of two today, actually. So, as always, if you guys want to be a part of this show, join us on the Patreon. It's also the best way to support the channel. Link for that down below. If you want to be a part of the conversation, join us in the Discord. Link for that down below. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, I get to do whatever the hell I want to these players. And two, we get money so I can do stuff. That's cool for the channel. That's pretty much it. With that, let's jump right in to some Coriolis. You all sit inside of a small craft. You bristle uncomfortably as a helmeted soldier slides a pair of high-tech glasses across your face. Your crew sits beside you. 3 others sit in another shuttle next to yours. You've never seen them before. The glasses remove your sense of hearing and sight. A slight lurch and a sense of nausea indicates movement in the shuttle. The violent shake means the clamps have let go. You are in freefall. The glasses on your face flash to life. 2 bright screens. Your eyes take a moment to adjust to the 3-dimensional room that unfolds before you. A shadowed man sits sits in front of a wall of screens with a planetary horizon behind him. Voice garbled. Greetings. Your crew has been selected for a task of the utmost importance, and we appreciate your candor and discretion in this matter. An anomaly has been detected at the Ouroborus Research Facility. Your task, to contain the anomaly and reestablish communications. The chair slides until he is facing this wall of screens, and a bright message flashes. End of message. End of message. On the third flash, the screens clear, your sight returns, and you can hear again. As you look around, you see that through the windscreen of this shuttle, you are in planetary freefall, entering its atmosphere. The 3 of you are properly buckled into all of your seats as you are falling from space towards a planet, a moon, a heavily gravitized asteroid. You're not entirely sure. That wasn't clear in the briefing. Who's the pilot in this scenario?
I think we adjusted it so that I am the pilot now.
Okay. Okay. What is everyone else's role, or what would their role be in a normal ship?
I tell people what to do.
Okay.
I'm the captain.
Got it. Got it. So you're the captain. Okay, interesting. And Rose, what is your role?
My role is to monitor all of our computers, make sure that we're not being snuck up on. If someone needs to be found, I find them.
Great. Perfect. That coincides with us hitting the corruption bar, which means nothing for you guys. Don't even worry about that.
Bye.
Great. Aquin, describe your character as you are realizing that you have all of a sudden regain the controls of this ship as you are in freefall.
Raid is a bulky man. He's bald by choice. He is always dressed in whatever tactical gear he needs for the time being, for the mission at hand. It's soldier. It's very practical. It is nothing fancy. It's clothed to be worn like a uniform or any other such for the task at hand. And you can see that he tries to keep it together, but he was only sort of trained in basic piloting as a like emergency pilot. That is not his main task. So he's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, like wait, it was that button and then it's this button and then I turn it and then, okay, I got the control again.
Just to be sure about everything you just said, roll me a piloting check.
I will, good sir. Pilot.
Okay.
Limited success.
Limited
I
success.
do have control.
Okay, you do. You do have control of this ship. So, as you the lights kind of come on in these glasses, you can finally see what the hell's happening. You see that like reddish kind of burnt hue as you're plummeting through the atmosphere, reaching, several Gs as you plummet down towards this gravity well. You kind of regain control of this ship and you kind of right it against itself. As you see coming into view, as soon as you break atmo, that there is a large station. A surface-side space station is strewn about. It looks like it's functional, as far as you can tell. There are these massive glass domes, these tubes that kind of spiderweb out and connect these things as you come down to it. For whatever reason, the task at hand is someone detected an anomaly here. You are to contain it, and you are to reestablish some kind of communications. That was all the information you were given as you plummet down towards this planet. You are able to regain control of this thing and sort of bring it down gently. You all have the equipment to do a spacewalk. Do you want to pull this thing and land on the surface, or do you want to land in one of the docking bays of this research facility?
I will do like this. Like, as soon as I regain the control, so I'm actually more flying than falling, I would be, Saria, give me something. Where do we aim for? What are you reading from the sensors?
Perfect. Zaria, then, as you get this flash and your eyes kind of blink into, sight again, into seeing the real world and not whatever was projected across your screen, what do you look like and what are you doing?
Well, I'm probably about 5'4", long brown hair. I've gotten my pupils done in my the tattoos that coincide with Coriolis, and they're pretty awesome.
Okay.
She would probably scan her computers and see which of the two options is safer.
Okay, roll me a technology. Do you have technology?
I do.
Okay. So you kind of run the scans, and for whatever's going on, the ship that you're on, this small shuttle, isn't quite outfitted with nearly as many sensors as your normal ship has. So you kind of run the readings on what you can tell. As far as you can tell, the atmosphere is, obviously you can do a spacewalk with the suits you have. The ground is, it's rocky, it's difficult to make your way across. All of the pods seem to be functional. You're just not getting reading. Like, if you send a message out to the individual pods, you're not getting a message back. So it seems like it would be a manual landing either way. So this is kind of up to a judgment call for you.
Right, I'd probably go with the dock. It seems maybe slightly safer.
Docks is affirmative. Hang on, boss. It's gonna be a rough one.
As Raid says, hang on, boss, we jump over to, is it Anissa? Anissa. G, describe what the boss of this ship looks like and what she is doing.
Anissa is in her mid to late 20s. Long, dark black hair, and amber eyes. She is dressed in space leather.
Which is very different than regular leather.
Yeah, it's very spleathery.
Mm-hmm.
So she's very stylish. She's got protective clothing on. So she's got like a long, like kind of a trench coat on, and she's got a sword on her back. And when he says, hang on, boss, she just kind of grabs that holy shit handle that's usually hanging there.
Yeah.
And she just kind of smiles to herself, and
Okay.
she would put her other hand up because she likes the free fall, but
you don't want to just roller coaster it?
yeah.
Okay. So Raid, with the roll you had last time, you are successful at landing this ship. It is a manual landing. There is no guidance. There's no clamps that kind of come out and sort of pull your ship in. You kind of have to slide this thing down, sort of position yourself where you need to be, and get the closest approximation. In fact, the one thing you notice immediately is that when you land in the designated pod bay slot, the typical airlock extension that would normally have come out to like suction onto the side of your vehicle does not.
I imagine that if this is the platform, the ship comes down and it's going to be like bum bum.
Yeah.
So it's like it's crooked, so the docking thing wouldn't attach anyway because the ship is like facing slightly the wrong angle. It's like
Yeah.
We're down, boss.
You would notice, whether you say it or not to anybody, you would notice that even if the weight of the landing, you don't even see the mechanism attempt to move and realize that it's not right. Like it just stays cold. What do you guys do?
Surya, give me something. The docking thing isn't coming out. I mean, not that it could actually dock, but it's not coming out.
You are me.
Do I notice anything with my computers that would indicate why?
Roll me a data gen. Limited success. Okay, with a limited success, you realize that there's no, like, you have no connection link to this. Like, you try to like log in, and you're not like normally you get to a space station, and your sensors kind of connect to the graders. It's not happening. There's no net for you to connect to.
Isn't there power down?
The power seems to be functional.
Okay.
It's odd, boss. I can't connect.
Well, it's probably one of the reasons why we're here. Have we landed? We are on the ground?
Mhm.
Okay.
We are on the ground, boss.
You've outdone yourself, Raid. Good job. And she kind of smacks him on the back of the shoulder.
Ah, thanks, boss. Let's see. This flips to B, and this should be in the close position. Close flight checklist done. Okay.
Like he's got like a notepad out. He's like flipping.
Yeah, I mean, he only went through basic training. He's like he's sitting with the manual in his left hand and his stick in his right hand. He's like, yeah, okay, that's flip that
Yeah.
switch. Okay.
The clipboard. I like it. I like it. Yeah, you guys are in this small shuttlecraft. What are you guys doing?
She'll make sure the tray tables are in the upright position for him.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
Mm-hmm. Did
Okay,
this
Then,
one.
want me to break
yeah.
the hatch, boss? I can flip this one, and that should open the hatch instead.
Sorry, we're in space, aren't we?
I mean,
So
you're
we-
on a planet with not breathable atmosphere. So unless you put on your suits.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
Okay.
put on our exosuits before you blow the hatch, okay?
Okay.
We don't
Good
want
call.
that problem again.
For this purpose, Rose, you all have an exosuit that will let you spacewalk. It just doesn't have the defensive bonus stats of actually having an exosuit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I assume you guys kind of put yours on. Anissa, I believe I was told you always have an exosuit of your own.
Yeah, isn't that what you do with an exo shell? You never take it off.
Now, is it an exo shell or an exosuit?
Actually, I think it's a suit
Okay.
based on the gear list.
Okay, because I was pretty
Something
sure
like
the exo shell is a giant mech. So
Is it?
Yeah.
Why would I come with that?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure the shell is like the thing in Alien when Ripley like gets and throws the fucking
sweet.
alien out. Yeah. Or
That's
aliens.
also pretty cool.
Yeah. So everyone dons their exosuit. G specifically, you have the bonus stats for it of the defense and whatever, but it also gives you a -2 to dexterity, I believe. Cool. You have your exosuits, Raid. You are able to blow the hatch, as you said. The airlock sort of the cabin depressurizes, and this thing slides open, and you all immediately feel that weightlessness of anti-grav or lack of grav at that point, and you are able to move about the cabin freely.
Oh
Where are you
shit!
going?
I should have pumped the oxygen first and then. Oh, sorry, boss. I'll get it next time.
Isn't that Zuria's job? I don't know.
Sure,
Whoosh.
Syria. Why didn't you pump the oxygen?
You didn't tell me to.
Boss, you didn't tell her to.
How did I hire you guys for this top secret clandestine mission?
Hey, we're a ragtag group of mercs.
Okay. Well, the hatch is open. We lost 2%
Expendable.
oxygen.
That's under the margin of acceptable losses, I think.
Yeah, totally is. Wait.
And I've turned it
Yes,
off.
it is.
Okay, and now she's gonna, with her suit on, she's gonna go to the door and look
Yeah.
out.
You look out, you are on, now that you can see it, you're a little crooked on the platform. However, there are no, warning klaxons or lights on the, that catwalk that would extend to lock with the airlock. It just doesn't seem to be functioning. You do see that there is a manual release on it. You just kind of have to float over there or kind of bouncy jump over there. Do the manual release, and it will open up into the actual facility itself.
Okay.
I'll probably go do that.
Okay. So you sort of bounce out of the craft. You grab this manual release, kind of plant one foot on the side of the door and pull this thing down. And as soon as you pull it into the release, wow, these klaxons, proving that there is in fact power here, begin to kind of go off. And you see red lights inside the tunnel as it as the door opens. You see the one interior kind of close as the exterior one opens, and you see this depressurizes as well. You're all able to get in if you'd like. And it will close behind you and sort of repressurize and add oxygen back.
All right, everyone inside. And there's no other ships on platforms or any other signs of life.
Good question.
See?
Roll observation.
Wow. Fuck.
What you notice is just taking a glance around, at least on your section of where you guys, the pods where you guys landed are, there are no other shuttle pods. Yours is the only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're here to reestablish communication with this facility.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, the only information you got was basically on Coriolis. You received a job, and then everything else has been super, high-tech hush about it. Those glasses were worn the majority of the time until you went into a ship. So you couldn't see or hear where you were going as you traveled places. And the first time you saw anything was when that flashed on and you got your message.
Not how we usually operate, but I'm assuming they're paying us a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah.
Well,
So-
it's weird, boss, but money's money.
It is.
Yeah.
It's true. And
Gotta
money
get the
makes the
fur.
world go round.
I don't like the feel of it.
Well,
It's
too late
fine.
now. Let's get inside. Close the door.
The room pressurizes around you, and you are able to open the interior door if you so choose.
Is there a
Um,
button to open it?
Yeah,
or-
there is. It's like a little depress button, and once the atmosphere has returned to this room, it's been repressurized. Those of you in spacesuits can take them off if you so choose, and the door opens up.
Raid would take off the spacesuit and then stand ready at the door to, if anything, he's the engagement guy.
Yeah.
So if anything is going to engage us, he's going to engage him first.
Interesting. Okay, I can dig that. That being said, let's do some rolls about that. I would like everyone except for Anissa to roll me empathy.
One limited success.
Yep. One limited
I'm not
success.
seeing it.
It's on the top under attributes. Rose.
Oh.
Perfect. And oh, look at you.
Oh,
And Anissa, I would like you to
Yeah.
roll me Mystic Powers.
Ooh. That I can do. Damn it.
Rough.
Yeah,
rough
it's rough.
shot.
Yeah.
So, Raid, you stand in front of the door. The button gets hit. It opens up. You have, gun at the low ready to rock and roll anything that comes at you. And you get hit. You and Zaria, you get hit with a wave of nausea. right? It's kind of like that like roller coaster feeling where like your stomach does like a flip. But at the same time, you get hit with like this weird headache, and it's over in like 10 seconds. It's like, oh god, oh that was like perhaps there's like some kind of smell that it took your brain to get used to for a second. Anissa, on the other hand, that doesn't happen for you. You are almost forced to one knee. You get hit with like a wave after wave after wave of this like high-pitched screeching sound, this like dreadful pit in the base of your stomach. Like not like a oh that was feel like it's like fear just rooted into your stomach. And you are hit with this image of darkness, perhaps space. You're not entirely sure. It's too quick and too dark to make any sense of it. But what you can see in the center of your vision, in the center of this darkness, is what looks like a black hole. But around the outside of the black hole is this bright white corona of light. And then it's gone. You will take one mind point of damage.
Yeah, she like. Yeah, I guess Raid is standing right there, so it's like I don't know if it like comes in a wave. So first, like the two of them kind of like stagger back, and then it's almost like she throws herself backwards, like she stumbles back and she hits the back the bulkhead of the blast of the airlock, and she like just kind of like cries out in pain and like doesn't know whether she should be clutching her stomach and like or like her chest or her head, and she just like drops to her knees like oh, and she just like cries out in pain, and just like it's like she's like looking like her eyes are wide but she's not seeing anything, and then as these images flash through her head.
Yeah, you all see this. You all see your captain kind of go down.
Oh, boss. Oh, you okay?
So I would turn around and like kind of kneel down and put my hands on your shoulders and, boss, I know it sucks, but it can't be that bad. It feels like you're gonna throw up. Are you okay?
She does. I think she wouldn't really react. Like it's like when you touch her, it's like she's shaking, like trembling, and like, but like, and then her eyes are just like staring forward, and now she's like just holding her head, and like she's not seeing anything, and she just doesn't say anything for a moment.
Raid is keeping lookout into the station, so he's like in front of those as a shield and like keeping an eye out.
Raid, maybe an observation check.
We'll do that. Observation. Go. No.
Okay.
I'm blind.
You look out. The emergency lights are on, which is kind of like from space. It looks like, or from the free fall, it looks like lighting's on. You notice that it's a little bit dimmer, and it's not coming from the overhead panel. Instead, it's coming from these diagonal side panels, and it's a little bit dimmer than the normal bright white. But you can like look down, and it seems as though the place is well lit. Although you see no one here. Zariah, you're kind of giving the old pep talk to your boss there. The old shake and don't be a bitch slap is what it sounded like. Roll me an empathy, or you know what? Roll me manipulation.
That's not gonna go well.
Okay. Yeah, this conversation happens, Anissa. You're kind of like, not physically, but kind of slapped back to reality for a second. The feeling in your stomach doesn't go away. The headache doesn't go away. Zariah's words did nothing to assist you in this moment, but kind of draw you back to the fact that like we're here.
She's just like, and then it's like she's talking with like she's got like ash in her mouth. It's like just like I could feel fear and and she just there was so much fear, and I couldn't see through the darkness, but there was a bright light. And she kind of puts her hand on Zariah's shoulder and start trying to pull herself up. What was that?
I'll probably throw my hand around your waist and like help like hoist you up a little bit to try and take the weight off. As soon as she's standing up, I'm gonna kind of lean her against the airlock, and I'm gonna pull out my my security tablet, see if I can't run some scans to see if there's anything off about this this facility now that we're inside, and if there's a like a panel on the wall, I would like to check that.
Yeah. Do you have a computer?
It says computer, ask Mike.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So you have a computer. Your security tablet gives you a bonus towards like breaking into electronic doors and stuff like that. Your computer would help you hack into this facility, which I think is what you're trying to do. So yeah, roll me a data gen with a +1.
Just add another one.
On the top of the character sheet, there should be a positive and negative section. Just change that positive to 1, and roll data gen as normal.
There we go.
Okay, fantastic. 2 successes. So you're able to kind of like, pull the wire outside of your tablet and sort of like press it into one of the security panels or one of the operations panels on the side of the airlock, and you kind of get to root around the system. What are you looking for inside this facility system?
I'm looking for anything that could tell me what this facility is used for, anything that would explain why there's no one here to like kind of let us in. Anything that's gonna explain what's going on, why everything's all weird.
Okay, interesting. So with 2 successes, you do get some of that. The first thing you can see is you kind of tap into the system's mainframe, and you can see that despite being in emergency power mode, a lot of the functionality of this facility is still going. You kind of flip through like the sensors that are on the system by itself. There are no life forms detected on this place. As far as you know, there should be, right? And how it's functioning without people on it, you're not entirely sure. As you try to like delve deeper into what this research facility was used for, you get hit with some severe security protocols. They have this is like ultra top secret. You found it, you just can't get into it. So what you find out is that this is a colony research facility, that the people that work the facility live here, they raise a family here, everyone is kind of like cogs in the corporate machine.
Yeah.
You know that this is called the Ouroborus Station, or OBS 001, and you know that this is for interplanetary research, which is super vague. And not entirely helpful. But whatever they are actually doing here is hidden behind layers and layers of security.
Does it have a layout at all?
It does, yeah. You can actually pull up a layout, a full schematic of this facility.
Okay, can I transfer that to my security tablet?
Yep.
That way, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, so you have a full map of this place. You can actually even get it so that the life sensor readouts actually show, at a minimum, they'll show you. So you can actually see where you are, Castlevania style, on the map. Anissa, while this is going on, your soldier and your hacker are doing their jobs. What are you doing as you're trying to recover from whatever the hell that was?
Yeah, as Zariah leans her against the bulkhead, she's just got like both hands on her knees, and she's like just taking deep breaths, and she's like, "Oh crap, okay, I'll be all right." And she's like, like feels like she's gonna throw up. It's like, it's not. Oh, okay. And
Waiting
she's
your
like,
orders.
"Just give me a moment," she kind of says, like with anger in her voice, and she kind of glances up at Zariah. Is Zariah relaying this information out loud?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna like take a deep breath and go, how many people are supposed to be here?
Looks to be about between 50 and 100,000.
And there's none?
None. It's just us. At least none that's showing on the computer.
Okay. And she kind of like sits up. She still doesn't look very good, but she stands up, like straightens her, tries to straighten her shoulders a little bit. It's like, well, that's not good. All right. And then she's gonna take a shaky step forward, and I was like, let's just go. Let's get in there, see what we got.
Okay. Rose, what were you saying?
I've got the map, so why don't we head on down to the control room or the main control center and see if we can't figure out what's going on from their computers. I might be able to hack those better than just a security terminal.
Yeah, good plan.
It's not a bad plan.
Roger.
So the three of you kind of head out of the airlock. I assume, Raid, you are in the lead, kind of the driving force with guns behind this team. Making your way, following Zariah's map. I would like everyone to roll me... let's go with an observation.
Can I succeed in a roll at all today?
Cool.
Roll 20, please.
Cool. Great. Zariah, you're getting... it would, under normal circumstances, be interesting readings, but right now you're not entirely sure what the hell normal would be here. You're getting, like, strange power surges in different rooms, in the rooms that you're in, and the rest of you can kind of see things that correspond with that, in that you'll see, like, some of the lights will dim, some lights will just turn out while you're in a hallway, some of the screens, like the wall screens, will just flicker, and then go out, or they'll just turn on and start displaying data. Several of them display, like, data in a foreign language that none of you actually speak, as you kind of make your way down. Anissa, the closer you, the more into the station you get, the more that feeling just, like, takes root from before. That, like, feeling of fear just sort of, like, spins in your gut. But this place is dead silent. Every once in a while, you'll hear, like, the electronic buzz of lights or that crackle of a screen, or you'll walk by a room where the door's open, you'll hear, like, the of the whatever mechanics that are in this place that are functioning. These, like some kind of fabrication is still happening here. But as far as you can tell, this place is dead quiet. There is no one here.
Raid will try to take point and, like, follow the directions from Zaria, but so that, like, if there's a door, he's going to be like, stop, then look inside, and like, okay.
Yeah. I'll take an infiltration check from you, Raid.
Infiltration. Limited success.
Okay,
I
cool.
can infiltrate this empty place. No problem.
So you can do exactly what you said. You're stopping at doors, you're peeking around corners, you're giving the go-ahead, you're all of the things that were drilled into you in space soldier basic training, you're doing them. It helps that there's no one around to catch you off guard, but I mean, you're still doing them. And that's really what matters. You guys follow Zariah's map, and you make your way through the exterior rings, that, like I said, that spiderweb network, and you get closer and closer to the interior. From what you saw, at least Raid, this place is... It's a circle. It's concentric circles all inside of each other. The largest dome, which is where you guys would assume, and Zariah's map would prove that as well, where the communications hub, where the command deck is located, is in the dead center. But it looks like a bullseye. There's just rings and rings and rings. And the farthest most ring where you guys were has the pods where all the landing crafts can land. As you make your way into the further and further interior rings, you get to what Zariah's map would say probably like the last third. Like the next set would be like the command set of rings. And the emergency lighting is out in this section. You are about to plunge into darkness, lit by whatever residual light from the moon is out there and the stars, unless you guys have some kind of flashlight system. Anissa,
I have an
if you're...
advanced scope. Does that do anything for like darkness enhancing? I wasn't quite sure exactly
It does
what that
for
does.
you. So if you kind of shoulder up the rifle and look down the scope, you'll be able to see in that limited field of vision. You won't be able to see like as wide as you would normally see.
But it's something.
But it's something. Anissa, I believe if you're still wearing your full-on exosuit, I believe you do have a flashlight sensor light on there.
No, she would have taken it off. Before we step into darkness, and you said there's a whole bunch of rooms like off to the side. Can we just maybe peek into one, see if we can find a flashlight or a torch or some kind of lantern?
Yeah, why not? Roll me survival.
Oh, please.
Yeah, so you kind of reach into one of these nearby rooms, and these seem to be like scientific facility rooms, less like living quarters or like communal spaces that would have something like a flashlight. And you do see that inside this room there is a panel of emergency lighting, making the need for flashlights relatively rare. Perhaps in the engineering section you might find one, or in the living quarters, but that doesn't seem to be where you are right now.
Sarai, can you do anything about these lights?
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Can I plug into one of the terminals and see if I can't power back on the lights?
Yeah, roll me a data gen with that same +1. Okay. So you log in, tickety-tapping away on the tablet screen. You're able to get into the system and find where the controls are. These lights are on. It appears in your readout that all of the power in this section is being rerouted to somewhere else. Like, the light switch is on, but there's no power going to this area. It's being rerouted, and with one success, you can see that it's being rerouted towards the hub that you're going to.
Is there a way for me to try and get past the security to disable the power being rerouted?
You could try. It would be an extra roll without that +1.
No.
You could pray to the icons.
I could.
Could.
How do I do that again?
You just tell me you're going to pray to the icons, and you re-roll, and you give me a darkness point.
I'm gonna pray to my icon.
Okay. Go ahead and re-roll that data gen.
There we go.
There you go. 2 successes. Okay, yeah. You are able to hack into this computer the same way. Like, you're already in, so it's easy enough to like kind of get through. This isn't behind those insane firewalls of what you were trying to get through before. So it's easy enough to get into this thing, and you're able to like pull back some of the power that was in here. And as soon as the lights come on, Anissa, I need you to roll me a Mystic Powers check.
Oh, God. Thank God.
Nice.
Anissa, the feeling of dread that you were having does not accompany this next feeling, but you hear in your head frustration and the word no.
Male or female?
It's hard to tell.
Okay. Is there any way that I can... Is it like all encompassing? Can I tell if a direction that it's coming from?
In your head.
Okay.
So, boss, stay or go?
So now the lights have come on. We have a little bit of light.
Yeah, so Zaria has pulled just enough emergency, like enough power back to put on like some of the emergency lights. It's still way darker where you're going than where you came from. It's like one emergency light as opposed to like the two on the sides, and it's like one and then like a good 10 feet and then another one. So it's just enough power so that you guys aren't in like full darkness.
Okay. Well,
I still only have us in visual, nothing else. So stay or go, boss.
move forward.
Affirmative.
Okay.
Can I hear anything now that we've moved into this less dark area?
Roll me observation. Limited success. You can hear the continued like whir of machinery working inside this facility. It seems to be distant, though. Again, all as far as Zarai's readings were, all of the power in this area has been pulled, so nothing's working here. That sound is probably the machines that you've already walked past, and not anything in this immediate area. However, there's like it's that strange, like when you're in someone else's house in the dark, right? Like a sleepover, and every noise kind of makes you jump a little bit, right? Like these could be perfectly normal space station noises, right? The creaks against the pressure. These are all noises you've heard in other places, but for whatever reason here, because of the darkness, perhaps because of the unknown, like it's enough to make you like turn towards every noise that you hear. You might hear like that like tink 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 of like the you know the pressure on the outside of the hull kind of thing, or you might hear like a slight shift in movement, but these seem like normal things as far as you can tell. They're just making you very uncomfortable.
Typically, there's other sounds accompanying it, so that it seems that they're not so amplified. Yeah, we're just keep moving forward. We have to keep moving. I think.
Affirmative, boss.
I think someone. Yeah, either someone is still here or they were here but they're gone. I don't know.
On my tablet about the life forms, is there anything?
You don't. The only life form reading are your group of people.
And then on top of that, when I'm looking at my tablet, the power surges, do they happen to come in a pattern, or is it like as we walk past a room, or is it just sporadic and random?
Roll me technology.
It's a good question.
See if you can make any heads or tails of it. As far as you can tell, it seems like completely random. The only thing you can think of is now that you've made it this far, and now that you've found out that the power is being pulled, is perhaps in the outer rings that you were walking through when you were experiencing those strange things. Perhaps that was more power being pulled. Like soon enough, those lights are also going to shut off because so much power is being used for something.
All right.
Zaria, you let me know if you have anything incoming. We don't want another Amido situation again. That didn't turn out good last time.
Absolutely.
And your sensor's picking up the entire station, correct?
Yes.
We're not going to see a big group of people huddled next to a reactor, are we?
Unless they're not life forms, but no.
She'll stop and look over her shoulder at her. I'm assuming that Anissa is walking in the middle for what that's just how I imagined it.
Sure.
And then she's gonna draw her sword. Not this again.
As you talk about that previous incident not going well, Raid, I need you to roll me an observation with a +2 for your scope.
Let's see, positive 1, 2, and then observation, clickety click, and I still can't see anything.
Great, perfect, good. So, Raid, you kind of have this, the lights are back on, but still, it's still safer through the scope, right? You kind of are trained, one eye open so you can still see your surroundings, the other eye trained down the scope of this weapon. With your normal eye, nothing. However, through the barrel of the scope, you see two something. It's a blur, very quick. Perhaps dust, perhaps you blinked, perhaps you were out of focus. But it looked like two shapes darted across the hallway.
Like from the hallway that goes across.
Yes,
So they like
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I will like put up my hand and be like, movement ahead. And I will focus more on the scope, trying to pick up.
Yeah. You kind of look down and you can't pick up anything more than you just saw. Zariah, you look down at the tablet. There's no life reading sensors.
I'm gonna come around and so I can see over his shoulders, see if I can see down, see anything.
Yeah.
I will be like 2 over there.
Anissa, if you're looking with the naked eye, roll me an observation. Okay. Rose, what were you going to say?
With that being said, I'm probably going to have my tablet in one hand, and I'll draw my
Mercurial blade? Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you kind of, and you hit the button on it, and like liquid kind of, and it forms into an actual blade, which is super cool. Anissa, you look down, and it's like, again, it's that strange, like, not my house kind of feeling, right? The lights that Zariah was able to pull back, the power that she was able to pull back, you see like the emergency lighting down these extraneous hallways is like flickering on and off, which is what draws your focus immediately. But it's in the peripherals of your sight that you can like it's as if the shadows move. Like when the light flickers on and off, it's like the shadow was too far away from where it should have been.
Okay. And she kind of will speak quietly to Reed, just so she's not like going to shout at him or anything like that. It's like, a shadow?
Don't know, boss. I only saw it move for blink of an eye.
And how far down is it?
From where you are, probably maybe 20 feet.
Oh, okay.
It's like the next set of lights.
Want me to go check it out?
Well, I'll go.
I'll cover you, boss. And he sort of he tried to angle himself so he can sort of shoot while she's approaching.
Yeah. Cool. So you're able to kind of move down there, Anissa, while Raid has you covered. Zariah, what are you doing?
I would probably be to the left of Anise,
Mm-hmm.
kind of on the other side of her, trying to back her up, but also kind of hide just like a little bit.
And these went left to right?
Yeah, so if there's a hallway in front of you where you guys were going, there's like one of those rings that kind of go around. This is the hallway that cross-section with yours. They seem to jump across Raid's vision. And then you look to the left and you saw shadows moving kind of down there. So, Anissa, you are the one who is approaching. How are you doing it? What are you doing? What does this look like?
So we're at the intersection already?
Yeah, you're at the intersection. You're breaking to the left to go down this hallway.
Okay. Okay, so I am going to the left. I'm gonna stick on the left side wall, not walk down the middle, and my sword will be just like at the ready, out in front of me, just watching, watching and listening.
And Raid will press against the right wall to get as good angle as possible.
Okay. And Zariah is on the left wall behind Anissa, being supportive from the back. Okay.
Jumped.
Yeah. Right, of course. No, it makes total sense. I understand. I totally
It's valid.
Yeah, I totally
Depending
get
on
it.
what happens, Raid will wait. It's just like while you are moving ahead, he will wait, and then when you stop, he will sort of cover the distance.
Yeah.
Be like, movement,
Yep.
movement.
Doing some Overwatch. Yeah, cool. Easy enough. Anissa, you move down towards this flickering light, and you can kind of get to the emergency light. Sorry, that is flickering on and off, and you see like that. As you get closer, like the weird shadow thing is no longer happening. But as you walk towards where that light is, you see that maybe it's the extent of what Zariah could pull back as far as power goes. But about 10 feet in front of you is darkness. And what you can see is one of the doors just open and closing.
How far down?
Probably a good, 5 feet into the darkness, so 15 feet from you.
Okay. And is there light on the other side?
Nope.
Okay.
Right, use your scope and see what the heck is stopping that door.
Okay, stand back, and he's going to move forward and try to sort of have a distance and then lean in to look through the scope into the darkness.
Yeah, roll me an observation +2.
And observation. Clickety click. Nope. It's
Okay,
too dark.
so you kind of scooch along that right-hand side of the wall. You kind of get up towards where Anissa is so you can see the door as well. And you kind of level the scope down. And what you can see is in the darkness, there seems to be the bottom of a boot is in the door frame.
What I get, boss, is boot.
I'm going to use my mystic power.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm gonna see if I can stop the door from moving and hold it open.
Okay, what is your mystic power?
Telekinesis.
Okay. So you're going to, I believe, give me a darkness point and then roll mystic power.
I don't have my core book here, but I'm pretty sure it says I don't have to roll.
Oh, okay, great. Then you don't have to roll. So I just get a free darkness point, which is great. That puts me at 5 for no reason at all. You describe what it looks like as you focus your mental acuity to stop this door.
It's pretty not really exciting, I don't think. But so she's like holding her sword, and then Raid is gonna be looking. Is like, I see a boot, and then she's just gonna hold. As the door comes open, she's just gonna hold up her hand, and the door will stop.
Is this something that Raid would be aware of you doing, or is this something that you keep more to yourself in this group?
You guys would probably know.
Okay.
The fact that
otherwise, it's either if he doesn't know, it's gonna be like, door stopped clicking, boss, but if he knows it's you, it's gonna be more low key about it.
No, you guys would have known that she has this ability. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was me, sorry. So you stop and then it's probably about halfway closed and just stops.
Right, move to the door.
Affirmative, and he will move up to the door. I will probably try to get the boot. Not touch it, but take a look at it. Is the boot attached to something? A leg, perhaps?
It is a whole leg. A whole leg is what it's attached to. Yeah, so you kind of adjust position so you're kind of far closer to the door, and you see that this boot, like I said, the sole of the boot was probably what was getting caught in the door, just enough to be out in the way. You see that there is a leg attached to it, a left leg. The right leg is in kind of like a figure 4. As in, it probably fell in this kind of way. And those legs are both attached to torso, arms, and head. The whole body is there.
Got a body here, boss. And then he's going to do a sweep as well into the darkness now when he's closer inside the door to make sure there's nothing ready to jump at him.
Roll me observation +2.
Yay! Let's see if I'm still blind. Observation. Still blind.
Still blind. Strange. Okay, cool. So yeah, you kind of peek in. You say, "Got a body here, boss." You're sweeping left and right. Nothing.
Nothing beside the body, boss. Seems empty here as well.
And the lights are no longer on this section?
They're off. Yep.
Through the door. Okay. Zariah, can you work on the lights in here?
Absolutely.
Roll me that data, Jin.
And while she's doing that, can I move to the door and try pushing it open? So it stays open?
Yeah, you can easily do that. With a 2 success, Zariah, you are able to pull back some of the power towards over here, and because you got 2 successes, the power from where you just came from stays on. You're able to reroute some extra power over this direction. And you can just kind of give a shove to the doors, and the one behind it also opens, or kind of, controlling each other. And
Yeah, she would just like stick her boot in the on one side and her back on the other, and just like push it open.
Yep, and they both sort of slide forward. And as you click them into place, the light sort of flickers on, and you can see that there is a lab here. The emergency hallway lighting turns on. You see that there is a corpse in front of you. And you can actually see as it kind of flickers on and you're in the doorway, Raid, you see it right after Anissa does. There's actually 4 more corpses in this room. All of them seem to be in white on white with a white lab coat, as if that is the uniform here. On the back of the, like one of them you see like face down. On the back of the jacket, you see that there is like a circle that kind of overlaps itself, and it says OBS 001 on the back of their jackets, which is likely the station call sign.
Is there any obvious reasons of death? Like,
well, what you can see on the one at the door is that around the eyes and around the mouth is all black. The eyes seem to be missing. And the mouth is open and black. It looks like 3 holes are burnt into this face. Like, yeah.
So they are dead.
Oh, they're dead.
Okay.
I'm counting 5 bodies, boss.
Yeah, and she's gonna, if she can't see the face of the one at the door, she'll grab the shoulder and kind of flip it over, and then see for herself. Yeah,
you're able to flip over any of these bodies that you need to, or pull them into places where you can see them in the light. They all have the same kind of marks. It's not as though you can have this one for free. It's not as though the eyes were removed. It's just that they're like burnt out, and the mouth looks exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah. Oh shit.
And
I'll point that out with my limited skill in metacurgy.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
These poor bastards had their eyes
will
burnt
take
out.
Perimeter once we've like to secure the area.
Yeah.
The other 2 can think about it. He's going to make sure that nothing gets the jump on them.
Yeah. Roll me survival, Raid.
Yes. No. Wait. 4? No, I wanted 0. There we go. 0 pluses. There we go. Survival. There we are.
Okay, you're fairly confident in your ability to make a perimeter check. You're fairly certain that this area is safe from any external forces getting into where you and your friends are. Anissa and Zariah, what are you doing in a room full of corpses?
I would probably go to the lab computers and see if I couldn't discern what they were working on, what type of formulations they were doing, if it was biological or some sort of experiments.
Yeah. I will say you can roll me... this will be a science at +2. Do you have science?
No.
Okay. Then this will be a datagen at +1. The information you'll get will just be different.
No.
I mean, again, you can always pray to the icons.
I would definitely like... How many darkness points do I have?
You have infinity. I get them. You just keep giving them to me until I use them.
Okay, well then, yeah, I'm going to pray to the icons.
Great. Reroll with the +1.
No.
So many, he's not going to know what to do with them.
You failed. I'm at 6 right now, right? I'm pretty sure. So that's cool. Yeah, so you kind of reach down, you kind of grab one of these the badges off these guys, and that's what allows you access to the computer. However, these are like it might help you with like hacking into the system, but like this is just hard coded like scientific data, so it's hard to like read through what the hell they were doing. There's like acoustic measurements, there's like sonographs from like space, there's like light frequency modulation that they're trying to go through, so it's difficult to see what the hell was being worked on.
Nothing that my Metacourage could help with?
In the lab, no. Maybe the people, if you roll Metacourage.
Okay.
What you can see, Zariah, is that all data stops at the same point. It was 2 months ago. All data stopped.
Okay. I'm definitely going to pocket his key card
Mm-hmm.
for a later use,
Mhm.
and probably turn to my captain and just, none of it's making sense. Can you try and read any of this?
Well, unless it's medical in nature, I don't think I'll be much help. But let's see what I got here with these poor fuckers. And she's gonna examine one of the bodies.
Yeah.
And I do want to ask: did they collapse at their terminals, or did they look like they were running for the door, or anything like
As
that?
far as you can tell, judging by the placement of these bodies, everyone seemed to be going about their normal business.
Okay.
A limited success. Okay, what you can tell, first of all, they've been dead for about 2 months. Which, given travel time, is about the time in which you were approached for this mission. What you can see from a medical standpoint is that the eyes and mouth were, in fact, burned out. But, like, out in the literal sense. Like, the burning came from within, out of their facial orifices. The only thing that like triggers in your brain is like that intense headache you got when you first came here. Like perhaps 2 months ago it was way worse, and caused people's insides to burn out.
So I don't have any medical supplies with me, right?
Correct. I mean, unless you have them on your character sheet.
No, I do not know. Okay. Yeah, they burned up from the inside. How the hell does that happen?
Don't know, boss. Sounds fucking terrifying.
I'm gonna strip the body and see if there's any just to confirm that there's no like weapon damage or anything like that. Like they weren't, like he didn't touch some kind of electrical.
No. You kind of like take your blade and kind of cut down the shirt to expose places. Like the hands seem normal. What you can see, like once you like cut down the shirt, is like it's almost as in the space PowerPoints you took in metacurgy school, right? Where you can see the cardiovascular structure of somebody. So as soon as you cut down the shirt, what you can see is like a faint red outline of like where the heart would be and the lungs and like several of the larger, veins that traverse the chest.
Is a body supposed to look like that, boss?
I don't have any
Not-
medical training, and I don't even think it's supposed to.
Not after they've been dead for 2 months.
Don't like this.
Same. While we're all just standing around, I would like to, and especially now that the lights are back on, I would like to look at my crewmates' shadows. Do they just have one?
They do.
Man.
They do have one.
Thank
Listen,
you.
just because I made the Vashta Narada in one game doesn't mean it's in all games.
Just checking.
Yep. Nope, they have one shadow.
Thank you. I guess we should continue to the center to see if we can't figure out what's going on.
Can you copy the data on their computer to your tablet?
I should be able to, yeah.
Yep. With that success, you can copy some of the data. It still doesn't make any sense, but you can copy it to your data. There's far too much data. This is obviously a research facility, but you can copy some files over and kind of have that to go.
Anything that looks like it's marked important or flagged or urgent, anything signifying
Specifically, the data that was being run right before the shutoff happened.
Yeah, so you can grab a bunch of pieces of data from that time. If you go past that, it looks like a lot of the most important data is still flagged under that top secret, like clearance level 5 situation. Perhaps whatever they were working on when the shutdown happened, they didn't have time to file under that clearance level. And that's why you can pull some of it. But at that point, none of the data is labeled as to what's super important because it was all actively being run at that time. So you're able to pull that like last day's worth of files off of this computer, at least this one computer. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm waiting for orders. I'm like ready when you are. Like just have standing around, having like looking towards entrances into this room, making sure that we're physically safe while they're working.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to replace his clothing as much as I can, so I'm not leaving him in a disrespectful state, even though he's long dead. And then she's just gonna take a look at his eyes and his wounds, and kind of put a hand on over his heart, and just say a quiet prayer to the Lady of Tears.
Great. So as you place your hand on his heart, I'm going to spend a darkness point.
No.
And the lights go out. You are plunged into darkness. The only person who can see right now is Raid through the downscope of that barrel, which is currently facing outside of the room as he is making a perimeter check. Anissa,
Syria, what's going on?
Anissa, you feel
Syria.
a heartbeat underneath your hand.
And she'll pull her hand back. And she's just gonna whisper, "He's alive."
As soon as you pull your hand back, you can see from that like boom, where the heartbeat was, you can see that red like glow out. And you can see that like cardiovascular structure and lungs begin to kind of glow. And you see it travel like up the throat, and then you can see a red glow in the eye holes and mouth holes.
She's gonna stand up and back up. There's some shit happening here.
Raid will immediately spin around and look over to Anissa.
Great.
And she's gonna pull ready her sword.
Yeah. As you ready your sword, Raid, you spin around. I spend another darkness point, and Rose at the feet of Zariah, and at the feet of Raid, the one in the door, and the two other ones that were over on the side in the background. They also have that boom, although they are clothed and you can't see it until their eyes and mouth holes are glowing. And the 5 of these creatures begin to stand.
Fuck.
Immediately, Zariah's gonna scream, "Fuck!" and take her take her sword and try and decapitate the one before it can even stand up.
Yeah, make me a melee combat roll.
You read my mind.
Right? No.
Oof.
No, it's not.
You can always pray to the icons.
I don't know if I want to give you that power.
What?
What's the worst that could happen?
More undead.
What?
All right.
Hordes and hordes of undead. What was it now? 50 to 100,000.
The best part is you made up that number and I just went with it.
That's a pretty big space station.
Yeah. You were like, oh yeah, there's 50,000 people. And I was like, there is now. Get wrecked.
No,
So
thank you.
are you spending a darkness point? Or are you spending praying to the icons?
No, I don't think I will.
Okay. All right. In that case, Raid and Anissa, you guys have the initiative right now. What are you two doing? There are 5 corpses rising around you.
I'm
Got a clear
gonna go
shot,
for the
boss.
head.
Okay. I'll take a ranged combat. Raid, which one are you shooting at? The one at your feet, the one that was in the door, or are you shooting at one of the ones further away?
No, I'm since Anissa's ones moved first and she called out. He's
Yeah.
going to be aiming at that one. So
Okay.
I don't depending on, I don't know if he will see that the one with his feet are moving yet, because he's sort of, somebody call his attention to over there.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm shooting at.
I can dig it. Okay, great. In that case, roll me a ranged combat. Anissa, roll me a melee combat. That is one success on a melee combat.
Let's see. So I get a +1 for my scope, correct?
You do. Yep.
And ranged combat, go.
Perfect.
Nice.
Okay. Great. What is the damage on that rifle and on that mercurial sword?
Technically, it's a pistol.
Oh,
the damage
pistol.
is 2.
2 and 2. Okay, great. Let's see here. Great. So yeah, you kind of actually describe for me. These attacks happen almost simultaneously. Anissa, what does it look like as you drive your blade through, and Raid as you fire this shot?
If she can, she is going for the head, so she's just gonna like quickly like swipe, and then it's like.
Yeah.
Raid, being a trained soldier, is going to wait so she clears the target, and then when it's a clear shot, take it.
Okay, great.
And I guess he's going to go for, head, torso, like the 3.
Yeah. Yep, I get it. Anissa, I don't know what your proficiency level with a sword is, but it's actually considerably difficult to remove a head, especially with a sword. So you cleave into that chunky neck meat and you hit the spine, which is still fully intact. It does not make a clean cut through, but you're able to kind of jerk your blade out of the way, and as soon as you yank it out of it, you hear that crack noise of this pistol kind of firing a kinetic charge through the air as it hits the head of this thing. It sort of slumps back down. You hear that sickening crack of bone on linoleum floor, but the lights don't go out, and it sort of starts to shift and sort of get back up.
Also, as a point of order, my weapon is actually silent.
Oh, well then you hear that crack of the bullet hitting the bullet hitting the actual bone in the head, as it still continues to rise up. I would like. Man, I wish there was like an initiative roll in this game, but it's all cards. How do I want to do initiative? Everyone roll me a straight dexterity. Great. I'm going to play this like Cypher System rules. Success means you go first. So that was your essentially your surprise round. These 5 creatures get up. Zariah, one is at your feet and is going to make an attack against you. Let me see here. I forgot to make rolls for myself. That's cool. D6. One attack coming for you. No? Yes? No? There we go. 1 success. So, do you have any armor, Zariah? No? Great. Then, in that case, you are going to take 1 point of damage as the one at your feet that you attempted to stab at, like, grabs onto you as if using you to get up, except when it grabs onto you, its fingers are, like, sinking into your flesh. The next one kind of does the same thing at Anissa, rolling against your... with 0 successes, it just begins to claw up at you and is pulling itself up, but it's not piercing through whatever clothing you have on you. The third one sees Raid. Raid does not see it. It does the same thing, trying to pull itself up to a standing position, is able to get up there, but is not able to do any damage. Raid, you have the pistol now kind of, oh shit, there's one right in front of you. And the other 2 kind of, it's this weird... like garbled noise they make. It's not dissimilar to the no you heard previously, Anissa. It's just less of a noise. It's less of a word and more of like a guttural noise. It's almost as if there's like radio feedback as the other 2 get up. Like look towards kind of everybody. They make this strange radial noise and they move towards Raid. What are the 3 of you doing?
I'm
So
gonna
3.
shoot the one at my feet.
Yeah. So there's 3 moving towards Raid, and then 1 on each of us.
Yes.
The ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, there's 2 moving towards Raid. 1's already on him, and then 1 on each of the ladies.
How fast are they moving?
Normal speed.
Okay. She's like, everyone fall back to the door.
Am
Okay.
I at the door? Was
You
that
are at the
where-
door, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I will
But
try
Zariah
to
and I were
hold-
not.
I will try to clear the door, then shoot the guy at my feet.
Okay. Zariah, do you also disengage and move back to the door?
I would, but in doing so, I would probably try and grab one of the undead by the back of the collar and the back of the shirt and toss him towards his other undead friend.
Okay.
Undead domino.
Yeah, so you can attempt that. So go ahead and make me a melee combat attack.
No.
Okay, so you grab this thing and you go to throw it towards perhaps the one that is like on Anissa, right? Except you grab this thing and the force you use to throw this thing, it doesn't move at all. This thing is way more dense than you expected. Like something's weighing it down almost. It's as if like somebody has grav boots on and you're trying to pull them off the metal that they're like magnetized to, right? You are still able to quickly sprint over to the door if you'd like to do that.
I would like to, yeah.
Okay. Anissa, you sprint over there as well. Raid, you fire at one of the three that are, or one that's on you, or one of the other ones?
The one on me. I'm trying to clear the door so the other two can pull
Yeah.
back.
Okay. In that case, roll me a ranged combat at -1.
Okay, so it's -1 with the one bonus from the scope. Or is
So
like
yeah,
cancel out?
it would cancel out. So it's -1
cancel
plus
out,
1. So just a normal roll.
So 0 ranged combat. There we go.
Okay.
One success.
You succeed. You kind of you fire a few rounds from your pistol. That silent as into its chest as it kind of stumbles back a second. You can now see through the gun blasts of in the chest, that glow coming out of like the heart space as Anissa and Zariah make their way up to you. These things all sort of turn and begin to move in your direction. I'm going to give them each an additional attack on all of you as they kind of get up there. So we'll go with Anissa first. That is a miss. We'll go with Zariah next. And then that is also a miss. And then Raid. Raid is... Oh, ouchie. Ouchie boys. That is 2 successes. So what he is going to do, or this creature is going to do, is attack you for 1 damage. And then I'm going to... Actually, do you have armor on, Raid?
Heavy armor.
Okay, great. So your armor is what, 3?
6.
6. Okay, roll me armor. Roll me 6d6 and see if you can block any of these. If not, it's 2 damage coming your way.
So 3 successes,
4 successes. Yeah, you negate all damage on this thing. You see this thing grabbing at you, and it's like tearing at your armor, your flesh, and it's just coming off of this ballistic jacket that you're wearing. You're easy enough to like take this from them without any kind of issue, and you're able to let Zariah and Anissa pass you by as you kind of get away from these things. What are the 3 of you doing? These things are on top of you. You can make a break for it. But they might pursue.
Until Anissa orders anything else, Raid is going to maintain position at the door to hold them back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was like, everyone out the door, and I'm gonna try and close the door.
I was just about to say, I'm gonna try and... There should be like a lever or a button pad or something that we should be able to use to activate the door.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So you guys kind of scramble out. You kind of have Raid take a step back. You go to grab that manual lever, and a darkness point gets spent as it snaps off its hinge, and the door and stays open.
I'm
Alright,
gonna
well-
fire inside the room then. If the goal is to try to close the door, as long as the door's open, he's gonna stand there and fire into the room.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna use my mystic power again and try and shut the door with my telekinesis.
Okay, yeah. So, all right, Raid, roll me that combat. It will be at a 0 because it's close combat.
Let's see. 0, check, ranged combat.
Okay.
1 success.
You fire into the chest of this thing again. Another 2 damage goes down. More of the glow kind of spreads out. Anissa, you are going to give me a darkness point.
Yeah.
And you're going to use your mystic power to force this door closed. Yeah. So you are able to, like, smash the door kind of closed. You actually see it because it's such a tense moment. You see it slam kind of closed, and like it kind of like dishevels from the hinge a little bit, and you can see that there are multiple sets of hands inside trying to pull this apart against your mind. It's closed. It worked. I would like you to roll me a mystic power check just so I can see how long it's going to hold. 2 successes. Okay. You're concentrating on this thing, and they're pulling on it, and it's not budging. What are the 3 of you doing now?
Maybe we should go.
Can we lock this door at all, Zariah?
The thing snapped. What do you want from me?
Don't you have a computer? Can't you? Isn't there
That
a
was the
eternal lock?
There's no power here.
Give me a second.
Boss,
I'm
there's no way I
definitely-
can hold all 5 of them. We need to move.
I'm definitely gonna go to the terminal that should be somewhere close and see if I can't find a fail-safe lock.
Okay. Roll me.
Because I was figuring the switch would be like just open and close, but like
Yeah, it's like the manual override.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll me a technology. Do you have technology?
I do.
Yeah, roll me a technology. Okay. So you're able to basically plug into this thing, and using your computer skills, you're able to engage the lock mechanism on the door itself. Like it's the door is a little bit bent and there's hands inside of it, but you're able to get these 2 arms, these coupling cables, to kind of come out and hook. It's not going to hold forever, but it will hold for probably a longer time than Anissa's mental powers.
Yeah.
So
At least that I can let it. I can let the telekinesis go, so we can actually run.
yeah.
And I feel like as soon as you hear that the clunk of the mechanism, she just kind of like she releases and kind of like just kind of slumps a little bit.
Yeah.
As
soon as you release that like mental stress, now you can hear the of them pulling on the door.
All right, let's run.
Drea, talk to me. Which way?
And I would lead them in the direction of the center. on the
Okay.
map.
Okay. So
At least back the way we came.
yeah. So you all begin to sprint back the way you came. You notice that all of the work that Zariah had done previously for the lights seems to be off. You are sprinting through darkness, guided by the light on the data pad and the small blue wireframe map that Zariah is holding. Like, left now, right, forward, left, right, as you guys move your way through this place. Everyone, roll me an observation.
I think Raid this time will cover the back, so if that's where the danger is. So
Okay.
he's going last.
Yeah. You can, Raid, you can roll me an observation with a +2 for the scope.
Yes. +2. Observation. 1 success.
Okay.
Finally, scope's working. Oh, so I have to take off the lens cap. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oops. Oopsie.
This is our first mission, apparently.
Yeah.
No, I think he would have gotten the things. I mean, he's still trained.
Anissa and Zariah, you can give me an observation as well.
With my talent, it says situational awareness. You always know your surroundings. Get a +2 to observation when testing it to discover an ambush.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our group.
In
That's
that
our group
case-
one.
Group.
I mean, that still applies if you guys want to use that group talent.
Can we use it?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems pertinent. We don't want to run
Yeah.
into an ambush.
So then
Yeah.
roll an observation with a +2, Soraya. And
Can I re-roll mine?
I believe one person can use it, and you can only use it once per session. Is how group talents work. I'm pretty sure, or I just made that up. One of the two. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Rose, which works great because you're the navigator right now. You are tuned in. Like, you're not even looking where you're going. You're focusing on this data pad and listening. Whereas, Raid, you're behind, kind of like moving like that sideways shuffle as you kind of like spin back and forth with the rifle, kind of watching the six. Soraya, you make several calculations as you're moving through this map. About potential directions you could have gone, but you hear noises from those. So you quickly move to a different path and avoid them. And as you're kind of going through these places, right, you can see that, like, had you gone down that path, there's movement down there. You are
Got
being...
movement in the corridor.
You guys are being pursued, but Zariah's quick thinking and map skills is what's progressing you past whatever these creatures are.
I see multiple boogies. We're being pursued. Move, move, move.
As you get closer and closer to the core, the central location that you are trying to find, you see, Anissa, I assume you're in the lead at this point with Zariah in the middle playing the map game. You begin to see the directions that Zariah is telling you to go, and you can see this glowing red presence. It's like you know, peeking through like the darkness, as you can see like around a corner, it's glowing red as if there's like a big red light in there. And the closer you get, you can see that this corridor is about to explode out into another one of those central rings. And then the interior of that central ring, there's 4 corridors at the cardinal directions with that giant glass dome. And as soon as you get to that intersection, you can see that glass dome is glowing bright red.
The same red as we saw in the chest and the eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Fun.
Don't like the look of this. Zariah, is that where we need to go?
Yes. I'm still not picking up any life forms, but obviously that means crap.
We're still being pursued. Doubling back is not an option. Press on.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, they could not be life forms.
3 unlife forms. We need a motion sensor. That's what we need.
That proximity sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys continue towards this giant red dome? Like nothing's happening? Great, cool.
Well...
What did I say? So you guys get towards this red dome. The light coming out of this place is like... It gets to the point where when you make that through that intersection towards the dome itself, that it's almost you gotta put a hand up to block out how bright this is. I would like everyone again to make me an observation check. Whoever's looking into this dome.
Oh, Raid would for sure. That might be.
Oops, sorry, I don't know why I clicked twice, sorry, but hey!
That's all right.
Do I still have pluses for my scope if I do this? Or is it a plane?
I don't think the scope will help you in this scenario.
Okay.
Only because whatever spectrums the scope is using isn't going to help with this bright-ass light.
Still get a success even without the scope.
Fantastic. Everyone succeeds. You can all see that the source of this bright light is a figure floating in the middle of the room. You see that this thing is the source. It's the darkest spot in the room. It is the source of whatever this light is. Anissa, you can see that this thing, it's moving, right? Like it's like waving its arms. Perhaps on first glance, it looks like it's like floating in 0G. But you can see upon further inspection and with a second success that every movement is intentional. It's moving things, and its hand moves over here, and like you see one of the computers like light up, and its hand moves over here, and when its hand moves, you can hear like the grinding of some kind of mechanical thing that's happening. This thing is doing stuff actively.
Do we engage, boss?
Are we able to engage it, or is it behind the?
It's in this dome.
Right.
There are four doorways into this domed room.
Okay, so we can't get inside.
Once you get inside, you can engage if you'd like.
Okay. Is there a corridor in front of us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can get inside from. We don't have to go down to the side and up.
Nope. You guys can easily get in from right where you are.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. So as we run in and I see it, I'm gonna point and be like, Raid, take him out.
Affirmative, and he's gonna, as soon as he can, he's gonna take a shot.
Yeah, so you guys kind of run forward, the door opens up. Raid, you kind of like get ready with that pistol, and you fire a shot. Go ahead and roll me a ranged combat.
Sure. +1 for scope.
Yep.
Ranged combat. 1 success.
Great. Let me see if I can block that with some armor. So you fire this shot, and again, you guys are all accustomed to that, like, poof, that noise that it makes, right? And you see the bullet kind of pass through this red glow, and then, and there's that sound wave as the bullet hits an invisible surface, and you can see the bullet, like, scrunch up, and then just tink, 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 it just drops to the floor. You can see whatever this thing is turn towards you, and its hand is still going and moving around, and like things are still happening.
Boss, problem.
I can see that.
Ghosts are here.
Anissa, you see it look towards you and like put a hand out, and then close its fist, and the door in front of you closes.
Oh, in front of us?
Mm-hmm. You recognize that, like everything that you just saw and felt. It just telekinetically closed that door.
Okay. And we're on, so it closes in front, so we're
on
the
the
other side.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Zariah would immediately go to the wall panel and not only start hacking, but try and use the key card that she picked up off the dead body to try and outdo whatever entity this is.
Yeah, I can dig that. So I'm going to because I just have so many of them. You go to like pull out your tablet and you go to grab the key card and you rummage around in your pocket that you had it in, and you could have sworn you put it in here, but with the cost of a darkness point, you don't have that anymore. It must have fallen out while you were running away from these creatures.
All right then.
Yeah.
Well, just hacking skills alone.
Just hacking skills alone. Roll me that data, Jin.
Yes.
There we go.
2 successes. Hell yeah. You are in this computer terminal. You're going. You disengage the mechanism, and for whatever reason, the door is like, it's fighting against it. But like the mechanical side of the door is pulling it open. It pulls it about halfway through. You can pass through single file to get into here, but it is open. What are the rest of you doing?
Aiming up another shot.
Okay.
I think there's like an aimed shot. Does that give me extra bonuses?
It does. An aimed shot, I believe, is a slow action that takes up all 3 of your action points, and it will give you, I think, a +1 to the actual attack roll.
So I think Raid would just wait until the door opens, and then like knowing about where the entity was, aim up his pistol, and then take an aimed shot when the door opens again.
Go for it. So you get a +1 from the scope and a +1 from the aim shot.
Yes, +2 this time, please.
Come on.
Critical
success.
Nice.
Let's see what happens here.
Woot.
And I don't know what it means, but my weapon says crit 1.
Okay, so what that means is on a 6, you with 1 success, you hit. For every additional that number of successes, you can roll on the crit table, or you can do more damage and other things.
Crit table sounds fun. Let's do crit table.
Okay. Do I have the crit table? Yeah, okay, so on the bottom right-hand corner of the Roll20, you will see a D66 button. Hit that D66 button for me. 24. Okay, cool. So 24 on the crit table is teeth knocked out. So you aim this shot up, you fire this thing, this perfectly timed thing. As this thing turns back to the sound of the shot, you see it pierce whatever that barrier was, right? And that little invisible barrier, and it hits, and you see the face of this thing like switch, like quickly move back as if like you shot him in the face in some way.
I meant the sound of the rifle. It's boop. It's
that silence
okay,
noise.
Torso protected, head not so protected.
This stunned it for 1 turn. That's all it gets. What are the rest of you doing?
How far in the air is it floating?
Like the middle of this dome, so maybe like 15 feet.
So there's no way that I could run up to it and hack at it with my sword.
I mean, if you want to try to like run and like leap off of one of the tables, it's gonna be a check to do that. But I mean, maybe you might be able to do that.
Yeah, if there's like if there's like stuff in the way, she's gonna sprint and then like leap up on a table, then
Yeah.
onto like a computer console, and then just full out jump and then slash at him.
Yeah, roll me a dexterity.
Oh no! Come on! Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me a melee combat with +1.
Mm,
Got this.
let's go. Yeah.
Okay. Let me
Nice.
see what happens here. Let's do this. Okay. So you attack with your mercurial sword.
Sword.
What's the two
It's
damage?
not. It's not. It's just a Dura sword.
Dura sword. Okay.
It does 2 damage.
2 damage. Okay. What's the crit rating on the Dura sword? Is that 2?
It's 1.
You can crit.
I will crit on him.
Okay. Do you want to roll the crit dice, or you just want to do more damage?
Let's do more damage this
Okay.
time.
So essentially, I believe that means you can increase the damage by 1 for every additional success. You do 3 damage instead of 2 damage, which is the only. That's not true. It's the second damage he's taken, which is a number of.
I'll do that.
maths. Okay. Okay, great. So you sort of do this badass run. You jump. The blade comes out. You kind of slice down on this thing. And you see it like get caught, like the head was still turned from the shot. You catch it in like the ribs, and you see this thing like falter, and it like looks to you, and the eyes and mouth are also glowing that same kind of red. And this thing, it looks down to you like still shocked. Before it can act, Rose, what do you want to do? What is Zaraya doing?
At this point, from what I understand, glowing red tower, Orby thingy,
Mhm.
dude floating in the middle of it.
Mhm.
Are there computers in front of this?
There are
Or-
computers all around this thing.
Okay, I would like to go to whichever one looks like the main one.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can't shut down whatever barrier or whatever is powering it to be able to float.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, roll me a data gin +1. Okay. So you run up to one of these things. This combat's happening all around you. You know, it kind of, the senses kind of dull for a second. We hear this the clickety clack and stroke of keys as you begin to hack into the system. The first thing you realize is this is not powered by the system. The system, this thing is controlling the system. In fact, several times you saw screens that had a language you didn't understand going across them. As soon as you start like hacking on this, you can see other terminals also have that same kind of thing. And in this room, perhaps it's the lighting, perhaps it's the actual system itself. The screen is relatively black and all of the text is red. And it is going across in whatever language this is that you do not understand. You're able to kind of get in, and you can tell you don't have enough skill. You didn't get enough successes to actually stop what's happening, but you can tell that whatever that thing is controlling all of these computers. It's the one that was pulling all of the power towards this. It is actively doing something, and it looks like it is using the power draw to send a signal.
Can I try and turn the signal off?
Not with that one success. Perhaps on your next roll you can try to do that. Or you can, I don't know if you have a talent that can do that or something. However, that's what gets you, that's what one success kind of gets you. You will need multiple successes to be able to stop that from happening. However, it is its turn now. It was stunned for 1 turn and is now ready to rock and roll. What does it do?
Bring it.
It's about to get brought in, I think. As they say, as the kids these days say. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted to talk until I pulled up the right page in my book. Interesting. Yeah, okay, cool. You see this, Anissa, because you are the closest to it, you see this thing look back down towards you, and just, like, it's color and darkness, and there's no, like, real facial structure here to, like, discern a kind of emotion, but you see the left hand is still out and doing things, and things are responding to it. The other hand kind of reaches down and, like, points towards you. And I need you to make me a Mystic Powers check.
No modifier.
No modifier. A critical success. Okay. None of the nausea, headache, nothing happens to you. However, what you do see is that same kind of black... that same kind of black hole-like entity with the white ring around it. And then you see, like, as if you're a third person in this scenario, whatever this thing is in front of it with a hand out. And you feel fear from the red creature. And that's all you get. Your successes allowed you to pass any kind of mental strain that this might have caused a normal person.
Okay.
That's its action. It continues moving. Zariah, you see, as its hand goes, you see, like, machines whir up. You see code come across computers. In fact, if you're looking out of this giant glass dome, you can see there are other satellite arrays that are moving into position. They're moving the different satellites into similar kind of trajectory. Raid, what are you doing as you are in the doorway, shot lined up? Anissa is back on the ground. You see it seemingly pointing at her. What do you want to do?
Well, boss being badass as fuck, she can take care of herself. Saria knows what she's doing, so now he's gonna take another aim shot because
Okay.
I mean, the thing is not focusing on Raid. He has a good line of sight. I mean, it seems like the thing to do.
Yeah, roll for it.
So, two bonuses.
Yep.
Ranged combat. Go. One success.
One success. All right, let's see if this thing gets blocked. Yep, again, you get that aim shot in there. The bullet kind of out of the gun. You see it again hit that wall. And then tink, tink, tink.
Does it block all? It does 2 damage. It
You're
blocks
right.
one damage?
So what happens is it hits this thing. The bullet kind of compresses and falls to Anissa's feet. And Anissa, you see, now that you're close up to this thing, you actually see, like, the kinetic force of that bullet hitting whatever that was. It still reacts as if it got shot. It's just there's no physical wound to it. It still, like, has that slight jolt of pain.
Legs also seem protected.
Zariah, what are you doing? Are you trying to hack this thing again?
Actually, I've gone through. The Faceless One's talent is fate is on your side, giving you the benefit of getting to change a single concrete detail in a scene more to your favor. It must be something that has a cosmic or indirectly helpful effect. You cannot make an enemy disappear, but you can decide whether there's a knife within reach or that a window has been left open. GM has final say.
Yeah, let's have it. What's your plan here?
I would like
I get a darkness plan for that one.
its barrier to just, I don't know, just not be there. That would be nice.
That one.
It would be helpful.
That would be helpful.
Either that or for me to be able to hack the system so that I can drop the barrier.
So they're usually supposed to be small. Those are not small.
I make a suggestion, maybe?
Yeah, make a suggestion.
Can he not be floating 15 feet in the air anymore?
Oh, man. I guess I could say this. I'll say I could remove 1 point of armor because it has 4 points of armor. Usually it's like oh, you found that key card, right? Like that's where it kind of comes into, right? Like, oh, you had a lockpick the whole time, right? Less so that guy doesn't have a gun anymore. I will say if we want to play that card, I will reduce his armor by 1. Other than that, it would have to be something slightly smaller than that.
Okay.
Like, you could have spent that talent to, like, make sure the door locked. Yeah.
That's okay. We'll disarm him a little bit.
Okay. So we'll remove one of his points of armor. Okay, I'll take that. Anissa, you are there underneath this guy. You just received some kind of strange vision. What are you doing?
Do I see that he's like moving shit? Like, is things actually like moving, or is it all just like digital?
Roll me an observation.
My plan here is to, because I can't attack him. I can't attack him directly with my telekinesis. Hello?
Yeah, you can see that he's moving his hand around, and when he does, things happen in this room. But again, same thing as Zaraya. As soon as you like look outside, you can actually see that there are like satellite dish arrays that are outside of this thing, and they seem to be moving. Whether he's moving them or it's digitally happening with the computers that he's controlling, they all seem to be moving to be focused in the same direction.
So I can't affect him,
Right.
correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Can I tell if because we know that he's trying to send a signal out. Has he achieved that goal yet?
No, you can tell by the satellite still aligning that he can't. He can't have sent it. Once they align into the proper trajectory to fire that signal, then he will be able to send it.
Okay, so sorry, is there like not like a satellite, but like an antenna, like some kind of relay looking thing that looks important outside the window? Maybe it's blinking or it's moving.
Sure.
I want to see if I can use my telekinesis to either stop it from moving or break it off.
Interesting. Does it say how big of a thing your telekinesis can affect?
It can only be small things.
Small
I
things.
think I don't have my book here. I think if I want to affect something bigger, I need to roll for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no dice roll is needed unless you want to use the object for something demanding, like moving a key to a lock and then turning it. Okay.
So see, like stop, like either stop it from, if it's a big item, I'd like to stop it from moving.
Yeah, I will say this. There is, you see that there are several antennas that are like rising up into position. You can affect one of them. It will require a roll. There is a manual crank on it to lower it back down. So essentially you would be using your mental powers to fight back against the mechanical movements of this thing.
Cool.
So
then I will do that.
So spend a darkness point and roll me that mental power. Okay.
One success.
So you're able to slowly, it's still going. You have slowed down the speed at which this thing is rising, which you know is one portion of what this thing is trying to do. All right, let's see. Everyone has done a thing. I'm going to go ahead and just spend 1, 2, 3. 3 darkness points. I need everyone to make me an empathy check, except for Anissa. You can make me another mystical powers check.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Perfect. This thing.
Oh no.
This thing again, left hand still going. It like looks back to you. You can see the three glowing orifices. It reaches back and like puts a like forcibly like shoves a hand out towards all of you, and all of you see that thing that Anissa has been seeing. You are plunged into darkness. You can kind of see like distant stars around you, and you see this big like just. Like Vanta black spot and a white corona of light around it, kind of like, you know, this bright white light around it, and then you see it like pull back and you see whatever this red thing is. There's no glow, it just is red. It looks vaguely humanoid in shape now that there's no intense glow to this thing. Its hand is up in front of this thing, and it looks back to the three of you. And you can all see it mouth the word please and all of you will take 2 mind points of damage.
Where was those?
Is that
should
the
be-
same? Is that the same voice that said no and out of frustration?
You only see it mouth it.
Okay.
Yeah. And mind points should be right under hit points.
Yep, I found it.
It is the 3 of your turns. What are you doing?
Am I still able to hold my concentration for?
Yeah, you can still hold that. That just takes
Okay.
your action points to do so.
Okay. And okay, so now that I have a hold of it, can I try and lower it back down?
Yeah, it's still going to require a roll. So basically, activating a mystical power is a slow action. So you maintaining that is the same. It's a slow action, which is all 3 AP. So you can roll mystic powers, and we'll see how that goes in your ability to help lower that thing back down.
Okay. I think if I wanted to attack him again, I wouldn't be able to maintain it, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
You see this thing start to slowly move in the direction that you're pulling it, and you see it slowly start to lower back down. The rest of them are rising up. The rest of the satellites are still aligning. Zaria, what are you doing?
I would definitely be attempting to hack the computers more and trying to access possibly the creature himself through the computers or itself.
So you can tell that this creature is in no way hooked up to these systems. It appears to be controlling the systems in a far more advanced way that Anissa closed the door. It is using some kind of mystic power to control this door. This is unlike any kind, you've seen Anissa use her powers. This is unlike any you've ever seen.
In that case, I'm probably going to turn around and draw my sword
Okay.
and hopefully beat the crap out of it with it.
Okay, it is still floating 15 feet in the air, so the only way for you to get there is to make an agility check or a dexterity check and leap up there and try to stab this thing. So dexterity should be on your skill list, and if you succeed, you can attack.
It's
Ooh,
easy.
Okay, make
Nice.
a melee combat attack with a +2.
This ragtime team is really fucking proficient when it wants to.
Apparently, right?
no.
Well, you leap up there, but for whatever reason, you hit that same wall that you've seen Raid's bullets hit. You kind of jump up on the top of the desk. You leap towards this thing. You have your mercurial sword out, and you go ready to stab. And as soon as that blade hits that invisible force field, you see the blade liquefy back into the hilt. And then as soon as you kind of land, it's shoots back out into a sword. That being said, Raid, what are you doing?
Raid would sort of clutch his head from that imagery. He's completely not used to that, and try wanting to ask Anissa about it. And it's no, she's busy. Seeing her busy. It's oh fuck, he's going to move closer into the room, closer to Zaraya instead. Wanting to talk to her, and then she sort of jumps away, and it's okay, fuck it, and then he just puts up his gun and he shoots.
Yeah, roll me that combat, ranged
+1
combat at a
for the
+1.
scope, and then ranged combat. Limited success.
Okay.
And he has one less now.
Nope, I don't succeed. So 2 more damage on this thing. You see the
Nice.
bullet rip through that that watery force field as it digs into this thing, and you see him react again. A lot bigger of a reaction this time because it actually shot through him.
Hey, keep him occupied. My shots hit better when you keep him occupied.
That appears to be true. For whatever.
It does appear to be. I mean,
Yeah.
in Raid's mind, it's working. I mean, they are jumping at him, and usually when they jump and swipe at him, the bullets hit.
Yeah. For whatever reason, that seems to be working.
Yeah, Anissa's just she's totally moving to the mind, force pushing this thing. She's we're trying our best here.
You see this thing again, still left hand going. The right hand just sort of makes a broad sweep across the room, and nothing appears to happen. And then when you guys wait that 2 seconds, you see all 4 of the cardinal doors open. And you can all hear that noise of that like strangely mechanical radial noise coming from the hallways as apparently all of the doors have been opened for whatever was left in here. That's its turn. What are you three doing?
Soraya would
Soraya.
immediately after the door is open. Nope, 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 nope. And trying to shut them and close them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, go for it.
Knowing that there's a lot of bad coming our way.
Is that 2 successes, Rose?
I think so.
Great. I'm going to be an asshole GM, and I'm going to spend a darkness point. I'm going to make you re-roll.
Oh, fuck.
Re-roll that roll. 2 successes. They want you to win. They want you to win. Okay,
Thank you,
fantastic. So 3 of the doors close. Which 3 would you like to close?
The one behind Raid
Mm-hmm.
and the 2 closest to myself and Anise.
Okay, so you get into the computer, the clickety click 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 is like overriding the sounds of like buttons and whizzes and things happening. You close these 3 doors, and as they close, you see those like dark entities moving towards it, and they all begin to move towards that last door. They're all making their way around the ring. You can see them in the windows in that 3rd ring. Anissa and Raid, what are you 2 doing?
Raid is moving like before when the doors open. Raid would instantly go to cover Zaira so that she could operate the computers, and he will sort of protect her so she can do her job.
Okay.
So he will take up like a post there, and since she gets the doors closed, I imagine somewhere like when he gets there, the doors are closed, and he's like, "Oh, okay, fine then," and he will take another shot
Go for
at
it.
the floating entity.
Yeah.
So let's see, I have 1 bonus and then the ranged 2 successes.
2 successes. Fantastic. You let me roll for let's see here. Do. No, I miss
Nice.
everything.
So is that then I can do 1 extra damage since I have 2? Or
Yep.
does that crit thing work?
You can crit or you can do 1 extra damage.
No, I can crit again. I want to do the crit table. That seems
Okay.
so much more fun.
Roll the D66 for me.
I will, good sir.
46. Let's see here. 46 pierced intestines, stunned for 1 turn, and then 1 point of damage per hour. The crit table is way more awful for players, like to use against players, because like if you kill the guy, it's dead. So the 1 hour of damage doesn't matter. But you fire into this thing, stunning it for a turn, which is that's pretty useful. So yeah, you pierce this thing with 2 points of damage right through its gut. You see it like sort of like lower down a good 5 feet, as if it is quite damaged. But it is still doing its best to continue its work. Anissa, you are still holding on to that last antenna spire. You see all of the other things are slowly starting to click into place. What do you want to do? Do you want to attack this guy? Do you want to hold that thing down?
Oh man, I don't know. Oh, we keep. He's controlling the zombies or the Bokor or whatever the frack these things are. Oh shit.
Tricky.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go for an attack. I'm gonna try back up there and try to attack him again.
Okay, roll me an agility.
Dex or agility?
The skill, so dex.
Okay. And I'm gonna re-roll.
You gonna pray to the icons? Okay.
Yep. And there's no re-roll button, so I'm just doing it again.
Yep, just
right?
hit it again, yep.
Come on. Oh no.
No go. So as soon as you release and you go to like launch yourself up, you see that antenna slowly start to rise up again. Its turn is stunned. You see that the creatures are getting to the connecting tunnel. On their next turn, they are going to rush into this room. You guys have 1 round to do something or be flooded by undead scientists. What are the 3 of you doing?
Is there anything in the room that is not bolted down, like tables or machinery that could be moved? That is a bit bigger?
There's like cups and pens, but like these big
No, I'm
computers are
looking
like
for desks or tables to put in the way, so to make an obstacle in the open door to buy us time.
there's a filing cabinet that you could kind of tip over. It only would like once tipped over, it would only be like a foot of barrier.
Yep.
But you can do that.
Can I do it like this? I scream to Saraya while I move away, like, get the last door, and I'm gonna take the filing cabinet and try to wedge it in the door so it's like leaning and making an obstacle.
Yeah, yep. That'll be a slow action, so that's gonna take your whole turn.
Want to do it so that when the door closes, the filing cabinet sort of tips, not in between, but it tips towards. So it's like it's less the obstacle. I will take that it's less of an obstacle, but I also want the door to be able to close.
Yeah. I get it. So it's like at a diagonal angle, like into the door.
Yeah.
I get you. Yep. So Anissa and Zaraya, you hear this call back. Close the damn door. What are the two of you doing?
I would probably be doing exactly what he told me to do.
Okay.
And trying to keep the door closed.
Okay.
And then if I manage to do that, I would like to turn around and help Anise with her satellite station.
Well, she's doing that with her mind. So, you can.
Yeah.
You
Is there
can.
a way to do it without your mind?
Not me.
Yeah, using a skill is a normal action, which takes 2 action points out of the 3. So you could like run somewhere or take cover. So you couldn't use 2 skills in the same turn. So you can use a skill to either help her or to help Raid, one of the 2.
Close the door.
Yeah, closing
Okay.
the door would be.
Roll that data gen for me.
Yay.
Okay. You're able to get into this thing, and you see the door slowly start to close, and it's like grinding against that filing cabinet until finally it gives, and the filing cabinet like falls inside the room, and the door closes. As the door closes, you hear that doo, 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 as these bodies sort of like run up against it, and you can see them are trying to pull this door open. Anissa, what are you doing?
I'm going to attack him again.
Okay, roll me an agility. Would you like to pray?
I'm going to pray.
Okay.
Look at that. Yes.
1 success, and he is closer to the ground now, so you don't need 2 successes. So roll that damage.
Come on. Hello? Did it roll?
It did not?
It did not? Alright, try it again. Shit.
Do you want to play the icons?
Yeah, I do. Because this fucker needs to die. No!
How
Mike is
unfortunate.
gonna spend like 10 darkness points and like your ship is busted.
How unfortunate this is for you. Okay. I am going to spend... I'm going to spend 2 darkness points, and it's going to use their turn. These things wrench into the door, and they are opening it. It takes the strength of several of them to pull this door open, and on the next turn, they will explode into this room. This thing is no longer stunned. It is, in fact, moving. I am going to... Yeah, I think it continues doing what it's doing, and it looks to Zaraya, and Zaraya, inside your head, you hear this voice that is like half angry, half pleading, and it just says stop. And I am activating another one of its mystic powers, and it wants you to stop. What it wants you to stop is using that computer. So you can attempt to fight that with a Mystic Powers roll.
Oh, sorry, me.
No,
Me.
Zaraya.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
don't
Roll
know.
empathy. You need to beat a 5. No. Unfortunately, you did not beat it. So it tells you to stop, and it wants you to no longer... So whatever compulsion you have to use the computer, there is an equal compulsion to not use it. And you're like, I can't. So on your next turn, you cannot use data gen. that's it for its turn. You guys have this round, and then these creatures explode into this room.
Right? Shoot this fucker!
Okay, boss. He's actually going to move away. Like, the door busted open, so he's obviously gonna move away from the door, being close to put the filing cabinet there. It's just gonna, move into more of the center part.
Yeah.
And then gonna look like nor take a shot right up
Yeah.
in the air, like at him, like.
Yeah, I dig it. So roll that range combat for me.
There's still one there, and then there's the ranged combat. 2 successes.
Nice.
This time I will just do extra damage to him, so it's a 3 damage.
Okay. You fire up into the air. Your shot sort of pierces into this thing. You see it like recoil. And then you feel, all of you, feel this like rush of air coming from who the hell knows where. All three of the remaining doors explode open, and you feel this air rushing into the room. This thing contorts and twists and shrivels and shrinks, and you see it like compress into probably like the size of like what we would know as a basketball. It compresses down to this thing, and then you see it drop to the ground, and you hear this like tink, clunk, 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 and below it is a football or rugby ball shaped container. As this thing hits the ground, all of the creatures that were pounding at the door crumple to the ground, and you see all of the machinery outside stop moving.
Fuck did you do, boss?
The lights sort of flicker back on, and Zariah, you see the computer, that compulsion to touch the keys is gone, and you see all of the red text going across them has returned to normal, whatever the color of the screens would be.
I'm going to move towards the canister and just take a quick look at it.
Yeah, it is a black canister, like completely, like one single piece of stone, you'd guess. It is a black canister, and there are red etchings in it, these runes, similar to the ones you were seeing across the screens.
Out of my pocket, I'm going to take like a scarf, and I'm going to pick it up.
Okay, you pick it up. Roll me an observation. As you pick this thing up, you kind of like grab it in the scarf and you like go to lift it. You can't help but notice that there in the center of the room, all of these computers were set in like a circular kind of position around this area where it was floating. You see that there in the dead center, right about where you were fighting, but far too busy to look down at, there is a depression, a kind of bowl, and in the center of it looks like a socket where this thing was placed.
Interesting.
Raid is going to go dead check everyone at the door. He's going to go like 2 feet in here, next door 2 to 3 people there, and just dead check everyone.
Yep, they all seem to be corpses. I mean, they did before, but now they seem to be powered down
Stationary.
corpses.
Stationary corpses.
Yep.
Moving.
Zariah, what are you doing?
At the same time that Anise and Raid are doing their thing, I would probably immediately run back to the computers and make sure that the station is working like it should. Try and see if there's anything that I can discern from the data that's coming in.
Without the need for a roll right this second, you're able to get over to the computer. Everything seems to be fine. And as you're looking down at the computer, the glasses that you all are still wearing, yours specifically, like they don't go opaque again like they were before, but like the lens kind of like fogs up a little bit, and you can see code is coming across them, and it is the trajectory codes for you to get the satellites back online to reestablish communications. They are telling you where to point them.
Then I would absolutely do that.
Okay.
And try and reestablish communication.
Yeah, you don't even need to roll. You're being instructed exactly how to do that. You can easily punch these codes in. You know your way around a computer, and you guys can all see the satellites and antennas are moving back to their original points, reestablishing comms with this area.
Sweet.
I'd probably turn around and just be like, boss, we got communications back online. Anything else you need me to do?
She tucks the canister in her in a pouch underneath the flap of her jacket. I believe that was, and she's kind of breathing heavily, like blood's coming out of her nose. It's like, and she kind of just wipes. Is like, I think establishing communication is all we needed to do.
We still need to figure out what the hell happened here.
Is there any data? I mean, computers are basically bullshit, but you seem to be able to operate them.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I mean,
So this entity formed the canister, or because he said he dropped down. So there is like a ball. There's still a separate ball.
nope.
That this guy contorted into. Oh no, that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The contorting happened, and then a canister was there. That's all you
Okay.
know. And depending on what kind of boss Anissa is, you also remember that your job was not to figure out what the hell happened here.
Yeah.
It was to contain
she's-
and reestablish communications.
And like this kind of like this cold look kind of comes across her face, and she kind of just regards the dead bodies there, and it's like, yeah, that's not what we're here for.
All right, well, let's get back to the ship then.
As you make your way back through the now far less terrifying hallways back to where your shuttlecraft was landed, you guys can see in the overhead, the pod windows that are on top of this station, that there is a much larger ship coming down for a landing. You all recognize this ship as the ship you boarded before the glasses were slid onto your head, and you kind of watch this thing land, and several dozen jet black armored soldiers like hup, 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 like come out of this thing and then begin making their way into this.
Raid would be super paranoid, so before the soldiers make it in, he would still go like check every hallway, like
Yeah.
check everything. He's super high alert, paranoid.
Yeah.
And then once the soldiers start hopping in, he would sort of relax.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can check a good chunk of them, but this place is massive, so it would take you hours to run the entire place.
Oh no, I meant while we make our ways, like
Oh, yeah,
point guarding,
Yep, for sure.
being paranoid.
Yep.
This doesn't sit right with me. These soldiers, like, they're moving in. Like, can I roll something to see if this is good for us, being the hired mercs?
You can roll me. You can roll me empathy or manipulation.
I'll roll manipulation.
Okay.
Damn it.
You can't tell whether this is good or bad for you. What you know is that you boarded a very similar ship, if not the same ship, and you know that your shuttle, judging by the bustling before you landed, your shuttle was released. So perhaps it was released from this ship. So these could be your employers. They could just be less expendable.
So I'll kind of push Raid, put my hand on his back, like, let's move quicker, get back to our shuttle.
Okay.
Affirmative.
Yeah.
Boss, this doesn't sit well with me. Why would they send the three of us in here when they had all of this?
Because they want us to do the dirty work for them.
I mean, I guess, but it just doesn't make sense.
And I'll look back at Zariah. It's like, if anyone talks to us, don't mention anything about the data we have, or the canister that we recovered.
Okay, boss.
Okay.
Raid would also look at Sari and be like, you know, if we disappeared, not that much, nobody would miss us. But if all of these guys disappeared, harder to hide, even in a big corporation. That's why it's bird for us, and mum's the word.
I'd miss us, but yeah.
Yeah, of course, boss. I miss you every time you go away.
I'd miss me.
Yeah. So we're just gonna make it book it double time back to our shuttle.
Yeah. So you can book it to your shuttle. You know that this is a small landing craft and not, in fact, a very hardcore spacefaring shuttle. You're going to have to link back up to another ship soon. So if you're trying to escape these people, that will be interesting. But you're able to pile into this craft. You're able to launch and head back off-world. And as you breach the atmosphere,
Okay, we're closing the hatch, then oxygen on.
Flip.
Okay,
Next.
next step is pre-flight, and this should be in full throttle. And let's see. No, wait, half throttle, and this and this. Okay, boss, we're ready for takeoff.
Right? You realize that I can do like 90% of this stuff with the computers, right?
She just puts her hand on her shoulder and goes, shh.
Click.
Just let him have this.
He pretends not to have noticed you and be like, "So, we're ready for takeoff. Checklist complete."
Perfect.
I don't want us escaping.
Mhm.
Because, like you said, there's, like, we don't even know where we are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
You boarded the ship on
Yeah.
Coriolis, and that was the last thing you saw. Before
Yeah,
landing
and there's
here.
no stasis pods, so
Nope.
we
There's
can't.
No
even
jumps
if
for
we
you.
could, there's no portal.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Coriolis, I guess, maybe.
but we don't know where we are. Can you run a sweep to see if we can get our location?
You know that you boarded this ship and were put into the shuttle, and so there were no stasis pods to get where you are now.
Oh, okay.
Meaning
So we are
you're
somewhere.
at least in the Kua system.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, that's fine.
would
I'm going
I-
to.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't want to escape because I'm also gonna check our accounts.
Mm.
I'm assuming we were paid something up front,
Mm-hmm.
but have we been paid the remainder of
You
our?
have, yeah. There is. It is
Okay.
a substantial amount of burr. You guys have been paid the crew as a whole has been paid a collective 40,000 burr.
Holy shit! That's a lot of money.
So where are we
think
heading,
that
Captain?
might
Back
be-
to standard bar?
Still run a sensor sweep just to see exactly where we are in the Kua system.
And to see where everyone else is, too.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a sensors check, which should be, I think, just your data gen.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. You are in the Kua system, as far as you can tell with what limited sensors you have. Whether this ship can make it back to Coriolis is its own story. However, you are on no man's space. You are on an unidentified asteroid. It is not on any star charts.
I would like to mark it on my my security tablet.
Yeah,
That way, if we can come back and find it.
yeah, you can do that. What are you guys doing? Are you taking off from this rock?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm-
Since
I'm-
we have been paid.
I need orders. So where do you want me to go, Captain? Going back to the bar?
I would
Yeah.
have probably used my sensors to try and find us somewhere that is not only a neutral location
Mhm.
for the Federation and the Syndicate and all of that, but also somewhere close enough that our ship could actually make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You can. You're in an asteroid belt. So you could rock hop with this thing and just sort of like take off land. It makes it harder for you to be found in that kind of way. There are several planets in the Kua system. There's also a handful of small space stations that you can kind of go to. They all have some kind of tie back to Coriolis, so that's really on how low-key you guys are, whether or not you get identified by anyone. But you are able to plot this course. Anissa, you're able to give orders. Raid, you're able to take off. And as soon as you guys break atmosphere and head into the void darkness of space, the glasses that everyone seems to forget they wear all turn opaque. And you again see that 3D thing of a series of screens and a man backlit by them sitting at a desk. And you hear that same robotic kind of voice, and it just says, "Please return the cachet." End of message. End of message. And that is where we end this episode
Shit.
of Ouroboros.
Damn it.
It was a good,
Yeah.
good try, boss. Good try.
Yeah. You guys are
Yeah.
getting hunted down by some evil dark
Yeah,
entity. Good
That's
stuff.
fine.
All right.
Everyone's hunting us.
Right?
I-
Let's go around, do some introductions. We're gonna do an after show. If you guys want to see the after show, just like if you want to be on this show, join us on the Patreon. Link for that down below. So first of all, Aquin, how are you? What did you think? And where can we find you on the internet?
Hello, I am as far as I know, the only Swede who is the Swede of approval for unMadeGaming.
Perfect.
You can find me on one other place on the internet, and that's every other Sunday over at X Miss Ninja Ninja. I play D&D 5e. So it's not this Sunday, but the next Sunday.
Hell yeah. We'll jump over to G. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of this game?
I'm G Lightning Invoker on Twitter and in Discord and on Twitch. I had a lot of fun.
Perfect.
I had a lot of fun giving you all those darkness points, but I
still
knew
have 3 more.
I knew that was going to happen. So
I didn't get to spend them.
you could use them for the next game.
Maybe I might. Rose, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of this show?
I'm Rose. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Mrs. Make You Mad. Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all of the things. I am blessed to be able to live out my Star Wars fantasies.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That being said, everyone, stick around. We have another one-shot at 4 p.m., so in about 30 minutes. So stay here. Keep your butts in the seats. We're actually playing more Coriolis, and it is actually a companion one-shot to this. You'll see some similarities, but different. What that could all mean, who the hell knows? But yeah, hang out, stick around. We'll be back. If you want to see this after show, join us over on the Patreon. And from all of us to you guys, we'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.